Returning to worship at Salem will be different than what we're used to, but not as awkward as you might think. So we've created this tutorial to help you. The first thing you'll do after you've parked is to go to the front doors of the sanctuary, which are here behind us. And this will be our only entrance and exit for now. A volunteer will be there to check your temperature and ask a series of health-related questions, which will also be posted around campus. So we're going to give you an example of how that will look now. No, Bill, you have a nice costume and everything. You've got the shield on, you've got the mask. By the way, you want it, that's better. There we go.
All right, that looks good.
Looks good? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got the appropriate attire. We're going to ask someone who would like to volunteer to wear the face shield. And he's going to pull his mask down just so you can hear him on the video. But typically, we would have our masks up like that. So, okay.
All right. May I ask you a few questions?
You just did.
Oh, okay. Well, have you had a fever of 100 degrees or more in the past 2 days?
100.4? No, I haven't.
Have you had cough, difficulty breathing, sore throat, or loss of taste or smell?
No.
Have you had contact with a person known to be infected with COVID-19 in the previous 14 days?
I don't believe so, no.
Are you at least this tall and able to keep your hands inside the sanctuary at all times?
Bill, that's not really one of the questions, but thank you for that. If you can answer yes to any of these questions, we want to remind you that you should probably go home at that point and may need to contact your personal physician if you are showing symptoms. So in order to protect vulnerable people from COVID-19, the ADH, that is the Arkansas Department of Health, discourages you from entering also if you are age 65 or older, have chronic health conditions like diabetes, heart disease, lung disease, and others, or have a compromised immune system. Now, while that may be a lot of our folks at Salem fit in that category, we do want to say this, that this does not mean that you cannot come. We are pleased to worship with those who feel that their risk level is appropriate for them to participate in person. So at this point, we should also mention that if you're ready to return to worship in person, that you're also ready to assume some responsibility. For example, we'll need someone to take temperatures and screen folks each week, just like Bill did. And we'll also ask 2 to 3 people, or actually the people in your kind of pod or your space, to wipe down the communal high-touch areas in the sanctuary. And all participants essentially will be asked to do this in some fashion, like the pews and the restrooms and that sort of thing. So while we encourage using the restroom before you come, that would be much easier, or after you leave. If you do need to use the facilities, we also ask that you wipe down those areas that you touched and wash your hands thoroughly, of course. Did you ever think we'd get to the place where we had to remind people to do what Mama always taught us to do anyway? But anyway, he can at least show us our sanitation station, which will also have these items available in the restrooms, but here's what we'll have available. Our sanitation station, I meant you just kind of show us the items. But we've got these things that are marked with spread the gospel, not your germs. And so we've got a disinfectant that you can then spray on some paper towel. If you've ever been to a health or a fitness center, you've seen this where you spray a little bit on the towel and wipe off the equipment you use. We also have the hand sanitizer there, and we'll have those.
I'll show you.
He does know how to do that, right? But you do know that soap and sanitizer are different things.
That's true. That's true.
Very good. We're also looking for disinfectant wipes. So part of this tutorial is we should say, if you can find them, buy some for the church too, or donate them if you can find them. We're looking, but in the meantime, we do have hand sanitizer in each of the pews, and we have it here in our sanitation station, and we've got the disinfectant and the paper towel. So let's see. We again encourage you, if you'd like to remain at home, that is perfectly fine. We will continue to do worship online as just part of how we are doing our worship now. So that's just a thing that we'll do. we ask that you please wear your masks at all time, and I've just pulled it down so I can speak to you a little easier, but Bill is being dutiful there. Worship leaders such as Bill and myself are permitted to remove our masks while we are leading, as long as we're at least 12 feet away from others in the congregation. And a wonderful thing that, Bill, I thank you that you keep mentioning in worship is that our bishop has clarified that we can continue to sing if we're not the worship leader, but we do need to wear our masks. So that is a plus. For a while there, they were saying no congregational singing.
Please avoid making fun of the masks of others or altercations if you like their mask better than yours.
Sure, yes, please. And also, weather and wildlife preventing, we're going to have the doors propped open just to help with the airflow and having fewer hands touch the door handles.
Please also refrain from licking the door handles or members of the AV team.
Yes. Please sanitize your hands as you come and as you go at the stations provided. Sanitizer, as we mentioned, will continue to be available in the pews. And
Please avoid drinking the sanitizer or using it as hair gel or suntan lotion.
Really, Bill? Proceed out. Okay, Bill, can you come back here a minute? That reminds me. Proceed in and out of the sanctuary in an orderly fashion and no running and cartwheels, okay? And we just discovered the way we are going to do this is to you've come in and find your space, you'll find where to sit, and then we'll have you come out in an orderly fashion as well. So I'll essentially dismiss each group with a blessing and invite them to use the hand sanitizer and the disinfectant. So that's how that will work. So during this time, we also ask that you refrain from any handshakes or hugs.
Wet willies appropriate?
No, Bill, not wet willies either. But we can encourage exploring, maybe air high fives from a distance. If you want, you can make the sound. And it there you go. We could also do Mr. Spock's live long and prosper is appropriate. So, but no wet willies, okay? I know that's upsetting to you. But we want to, again, practice as much social distancing as possible. When you go in the sanctuary, you'll find that there is blue tape everywhere. So it's going to mark off the areas that we ask that you do not sit in, and the places that are not marked in blue tape, in other words, are the places you can sit.
If it helps, Don't Stand So Close to Me by the
Please. Yeah, that's lovely, Bill. I'm glad we're almost finished. You'll notice that we'll not be using bulletins or hymnals for a while. We've also removed things like the hymnals and the pew Bibles and pencils.
And squirt guns.
Bill, stop it. Aw, it's okay, big guy. I'm not mad at you. It's okay. It really is. Oh, no, sorry. Oh. Very good. Thanks for that reminder. But yes, we've removed all of those things from the sanctuary in order to give us fewer things to touch. And we continue on that note to encourage online giving as the safest way to give. You're also going to notice some offering boxes in the back of the sanctuary on the sound booth. So again, as we finish worship, we'll ask that at least one person from your family wipe down the area where you sat with the disinfecting wipes, and we'll probably dismiss folks. Again, disinfecting wipes are what we're looking for, but in the meantime, we do have the disinfectant and the paper towels. And so we'll ask that you wipe down your area. Communion will be on the first Sundays for now, just a few notes on some other things. It will be brought to you by individuals in individual servings and by someone in gloved hands. That will be our last act of worship together. And so we'll continue to offer that drive-through option as well from 11 to 11:30 for those who are worshiping at home. A few notes about the well. We're calling it the Well Unplugged for now. It's an open air worship service, which is a great option for folks. Masks are encouraged as well at the well, but they may be worn at your discretion if you are more than 6 feet away. So there is some flexibility there. Instead of 6 o'clock, as was previously mentioned, we'd like to take advantage of the slightly cooler temperatures and move the well to 7:30, as we'll be outside next to Fellowship Hall. So think of it as an evening Vespers service, where we ask that you please bring your own lawn chairs as we join in song and prayer and an encouraging message and lively discussion. So while we've had some fun in this video, I love you, Bill. Please know that we take your health and safety very seriously, and we'll be doing everything we can to stop the spread of COVID-19. We hope that this tutorial was helpful to you. And while subject to change as circumstances require, our current plan is to start our in-person worship services again on July 5th, and we're calling that our Independence service, as we are in dependence on God and one another. We'll have a message called The Heart of Worship on that day. In that case, we'll see you at 10 o'clock in the sanctuary or 7:30 at the Well Unplugged outside Fellowship Hall. We hope this was helpful to you. God bless.